Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Can you all hear me all right?
Yes.
Superb, superb.
Hola. Finally
Oh,
made it.
How's it going? Let me message. Oh, I think Jake might already be in here.
Guten Morgen.
hello, guten Morgen.
Or I should say, Gute Burger.
Long time no speak, Jitters. How's things?
Very, very busy. The new job has taken a lot of my time, and it's what I got to do to keep the our business alive. But I'm here, and I'm stoked to have. Oh, Tech Alchemy's here.
Hey guys, Jake and I are both
Hello.
here.
Hello.
That's
Hi,
Sam
guys.
and Jake.
Hey, Jake.
How is everyone doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're excited to hear the news about how KTO is going to hit $1 today.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll give it. How many have we got in here? Hang on a second. We'll give it a minute or two, I think.
Sure.
All right.
Give everyone to join.
Also, Gary, where are you, buddy?
I know Gary on Adrian's struggling a little bit today. He's if you've been in Discord today, he's sort of been too well, so. But we've got Jörn and myself here. We've got Soham and Jake from Tech Alchemy. So yeah, we're looking forward to speaking about how the start of development sort of taking shape.
We also have me. I exist. I'm special too.
Hello, Kat.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Kat.
I
right,
am in
Kat.
really shitty train stations, so I will probably be in and out, but I will be here best I can.
You've got a similar situation to Adrian, haven't you? You're not feeling so great either.
What? No, I'm in a train station having a shit time. I'm waiting for my train because they're all nuked, and they're like, we're gonna strike, but we're gonna strike at the least opportune time when you're not stuck to your desk. Great.
Hey, don't worry, Kat. When you hit it big, you'll be able to say, "Don't worry, I'm at my own train station. I own the train station."
No, when I hit it big, I'll buy a bicycle and cycle everywhere.
Buy a
Yeah,
bicycle.
good, smart. That's smart, Kat.
Same plan as everything else, you know.
That's the way to do it.
How's London, by the way? How's the UK?
That would be Tech Alchemy answering, not me. I'm in Lancashire. I'm far off.
Well, it's all the same anyway, right?
No.
In England, you are right.
Yeah, how's the exorbitant, rent prices there?
Yeah, we don't talk about that,
Yeah,
Kat.
exactly.
What's it like spending £8 for a pint?
How much is a pint where you are? Actually, do I even want to know?
About
Go on,
£3.
tell me. Oh no!
Oh Jesus!
My local pub has
That's
them
not what I wanna
good.
hear, actually.
I went to a cafe on the same road as the office. There's a new one, and I got a lemonade and a coffee, and it was £15. And I
What?
couldn't look at the receipt because I don't want to know how that was split. Because either there was £7.50 each, in which case they're both crazy, or something even crazier than that.
No, see,
That's nice.
it's Sicilian lemonade, which means it's the best of the best.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It was actually. It wasn't. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was like Fentiman's lemonade out of a bottle.
lab grown lemons.
No, Fentiman's at most is like £2-3 a bottle. That shit's great though.
It is good, but I don't know about £8-9 or whatever it was. We won't be going back.
That's mad.
Even when
yeah,
KTO's $1, I'm not going back. I don't know how I have it in me to just spend that.
I had a similar one in London last time I went and bought a round of gin and tonics. It's just absurd, just absolutely ridiculous. It was like I think it was like 3 drinks and it came to like £5 or something ridiculous, and I was just like, oh god.
Yeah, that's probably. I was going to guess maybe £30 because 3 gin and tonics could be £10 each. Oh, it is horrible, actually.
You get special straws and the fruit and all that, so something. Okay, well, I think we've got plenty of people in here. I think we can make a start. So just a brief introduction, guys. Who's here? We've got myself and Johan. I think he's able to speak now. The dream team. Adrian's unfortunately not here. We're wishing him a speedy recovery. He's spoken a little bit about in Discord today. He's not feeling too well, so hopefully he'll be feeling better next week. And then we have special guests Soham and Jake with us from Tech Alchemy, part of the coding team. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. And just to talk a little bit before we sort of open up for questions from you guys, because I know some people have put some stuff together. But obviously, we're in the run up to development now. We obviously, as I've spoken about in AMAs prior, we experienced a little bit of a hold up with progression just due to the state of the market and other things sort of holding us back out of our control. Very frustrating, but we're getting there now. We're very, very close to kicking things off. We've obviously been working with Tech Alchemy over the past couple of weeks to finding a sort of balanced solution that allows us to sustain ourselves as a token and a project, but also allows us to kick off development and get the ball running. There's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes to find that balance and make sure we're planning things correctly and moving forward to a point where things are managed. But we're there now, and I think everyone involved is looking forward to getting started and cracking on. If you've been with us sort of for the past half a year, you'll know that we don't like over promising things. We don't like giving out dates and then not being able to deliver on them. So it's important for us that we found a solution that allowed us to crack on and carry on, but also be mindful that the overall market conditions sort of tied into the Ethereum marketing funds, they held us back a bit. But as I say, we're pushing forward now. So thank you very much to Jake and Soham for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking the time and speaking to myself and the stockholders.
Of course. We're always happy to talk.
Brilliant.
I think it's worth just quickly on the point you've just made. I think it is worth saying that we as Tech Alchemy get so many proposals and see so many people doing things in the crypto world just however they kind of feel like it. And so I know that the whole community is kind of aware of the hold up around opening a proper company with the KYC that comes with it, with the fund management activities kind of taking longer. But it's worth saying that most companies don't do this properly, and so doing it properly despite taking a little bit longer in the long term is just the best thing we can do. So those kinds of holdups that come from government entities is partially why we're all in the decentralized world, but you have to play in the system you live, right? So doing it this way is just the safest way of doing things. I'm really glad, even though things have taken longer, I'm glad we've done it.
Absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree more. And it's it's something that we were alluding to, even given a couple of months back, talking about regulations coming in, and now with the situation going on, the global situation, and the overall market taking a bit of hit, we're now seeing some of those regulations creep in. So
they're going to be rushed through as well, like the stable coin market going wrong. I think quite a few people have essentially noticed that centralized products or CeFi over DeFi can actually just be exactly the same because the market's unregulated. It's just Silicon Valley names on DeFi products, and that was enough. So I think we're doing things safely is the best thing we can do in the long term for sure.
Yeah, totally agree. And it's just a way, of future proofing things and ensuring that we stay ahead of the ball and make sure we do things right, as you were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's it? Shall we open up for questions? Because I know you guys are only here for a sort of limited amount of time.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm here. Sorry about that. I'm having a quick breakfast before I go to work, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this in for you guys here. Are there any presenting development timelines right now in terms of the project for the centralized exchange?
Yeah, so we basically with the guys came up with a few timelines with certain developers allocated on and different team sizes, and then now as Martin mentioned, we're sort of kicking off the development to get things going with a bit of a smaller team right now, and so we're putting that roadmap together as we speak, with just the impact of a slightly smaller team and shifting things around so that we're still making an impact and moving through. So that's being adjusted right now, with the view that hopefully early next week with Martin and the guys, we can go through it and have something to give you guys.
Yeah, it's also, we should say that obviously we are kickstarting the development with a smaller team than we would have obviously wanted to. However, that doesn't mean that the team can't ratchet up whenever we want to. So, right now market conditions make us start smaller, but that doesn't mean that market conditions couldn't change and we start ramping the team up whenever we decide to do that. So, any timelines we do come up with will obviously be caveated with these timelines could get shorter by increasing the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, that was the best thing. That was sort of the best sort of cooperation between ourselves and Tech Alchemy. That they what really made me happy was that they were very accommodating and were able to work with us too, because they could understand the situation. They're in the same sort of situation as us, working within cryptocurrency, and so they understood what was going on, and they were very accommodating, as I say, and offered a number of solutions. And I think the one we've chosen is the best one. It just allows us, as I said, to carry on, but then also be able to sustain ourselves in this current sort of market. So yeah,
exactly.
It is actually very admirable. I mean, I don't speak for everyone, but I see it myself that even during, as Martin has mentioned before, the bear market, regardless of how huge of a dip the crypto world has taken, the huge shake it's been dealing with, that Tech Alchemy and the devs have been able to still move forward without any hindrance, basically keeping the same time frame that they're willing to do for the project to be released. So that's, I mean, I am actually pretty stoked about that. So I got this question here for you guys next. What is your opinion on SBF's recent comments about numerous centralized exchanges being secretly insolvent?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think for me, if you're going to centralize your product, you need to make sure it's treated. A centralized DeFi product is essentially a normal company, right? Using blockchain technology. And so the same audits and the same everything that every company should be doing, they should also be doing. So the fact that they could be secretly insolvent is the biggest indicator that no one should be able, Tech Alchemy can't secretly be insolvent. We just have to report to the government, right? And if you aren't going decentralized where everything's just on a ledger and you can read it, then you should also have to do that. So, we saw it with Celsius and essentially Nexo being able to say, we can afford to buy everything you have. Anything that qualifies for us, we can afford to take on, comes from the fact that they do their reporting. Likewise, there are so many stable coins, but the reason that people have kind of started shifting towards BUSD and USDC comes from this reporting. And I think we couldn't say whether anyone is anything. Who knows? But the fact that the question even exists is a bit of a red flag. And so I'm hoping, as the KTO product is released, we will just be open about this stuff. We'll have third parties auditing things. If we get to a point where there are huge amounts of funds in reserve, we should be reporting on that. We shouldn't just be saying, "Oh yeah, this is what we have, and don't worry, just trust us."
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something we've definitely talked about in the past. We're not cutting corners. We've set up the business in the UK. We've done everything we can to make this sort of open and honest, including everything involved in the token and tokenomics and everything we've set up so far. So yeah, down the line, of course, these things are things that we're going to look at and make as open as we have as we have with everything else that we've put together. So
yeah, I mean, setting up in the UK is no small thing. It is essentially a long-term promise to do things in a very, very proper way. Even though it's just setting up a company in the country that we happen to be in, that's not really the only option. We could have set this up anywhere quite easily, and setting it up here means we have to adhere to these rules.
No, yeah, that's. I mean, the fact that you have to, at least. I mean, I get that we want to understand, we want to trust you, but oh yeah, we trust Tech Alchemy. Don't worry, we'll leave it in your hands. We appreciate the fact that you guys are still open and honest and keeping everything basically public, so that there's no secrecy involved.
Yeah, but I mean, and this is what I mean, right? Like, we should, but by setting up here, we also have to. And I think we, in the DeFi world, maybe lurched a little bit too far away from regulation. We all, from a token price perspective, everyone kind of dreads regulation and goes, what will Ethereum price do if cryptos become properly regulated? But you also have to think of the very long-term positives of that regulation. They do exist. It's not like this is a simple bad thing for the crypto world. It will help us in quite a lot of ways. It will help us be safer and be more financially protected from something like UST happening. If UST was a regulated currency, which, I mean, personally, it's just a saving mechanism. It is a bank, right? And so if UST was at all regulated, then we'd be protected, right? Like in the UK, your savings are protected usually up to £50,000. And if I had $50,000 of UST, I now have no dollars of UST, right? And that couldn't happen if it was in a bank. And they offer very similar services. So, it's a very tricky world right now because people are becoming savvy to this. I'm kind of hopeful that this is the last time the blockchain world will experience a dip because of essentially people doing things wrong. Utility is required in the next bull market, in my opinion, as well as proper reporting. I don't think you can just do stuff and pretend no one, and just essentially, I don't think you'll be able to launch a token and say, if it works, we'll do this, and if it doesn't work, at least we're kind of rich, it's fine. That's not how this should work, right? And I don't think it can carry on that way now because people are too savvy to this.
Yeah, and we're certainly seeing repercussions on the back of all that now, and we will continue to. So I think taking the CFI route and going down the route that we have, I think it puts us in a really good place when building in a bear market as well. It's I think we're genuinely looking to build something that has all the necessary safeguards in place. That, as I say, will go hand in hand with the regulation that's coming. And cryptocurrency is it's still in its infancy, really. So these things are worrying, but we have to sort of see these mistakes and recognize them, and then move on and adapt. And that's what's currently going on, from my understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, I completely understand, especially since we get the benefits of being DeFi, but at the same time, we have to be realistic for the future, since at a point in time, they will dip their hands into crypto to sort of regulate it, basically keep it safe for its citizens and everything. So it's understandable. I know it's such a really nightmarish word to say, to to be regulated, but I mean, it's for security, and I know you guys are preparing for that ahead of time, just to make sure that you fall in line, just so you're not part of the, I guess, part of the crypto space that gets banned.
We saw it in the UK. We saw it with GDPR, or like in Europe in general, and the companies that were essentially doing things that they shouldn't be doing with user data died overnight, right? Because the regulation came, and we can't just sit and pretend that regulation might not come and kind of just live in a world where we say, oh, it's fine, regulation isn't coming. We know it's going to come, right? It has to, because governments do exist, even if it doesn't matter where you sit on that kind of scale, they do. That's just the fact of life. So doing things properly is just the only way to go.
Yeah, no, that is, especially since it's not like you guys are wanting to fall in line completely like other centralized exchanges, but you'll basically take the name of a centralized exchange and turn it differently. So
yeah, right, exactly.
So basically, it's much more appealing to be a centralized exchange versus not being one. But Jake, so I know you guys don't have much time left. I have a couple of questions for you guys. More if you guys still have some more time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so here's one for you guys. We have seen a few centralized exchanges, for example, Binance, Robinhood, and Coinbase, halt trading on crypto because of volatility issues and negativity price action. Is that something we should be worrying about on KTO's exchange?
That's a good question, actually. We haven't really scoped in features to allow for pausing of tradability. So, it's not something we've discussed building, but you have to realize there are lots of reasons to do that, right? Like, so today, or over the last few days, a lot of exchanges would have stopped anything on anything ETH based, any ERC20 tokens being tradable because of upgrades, right? And for example, we know that ETH2 is planned and coming out, and what we don't know is how the market will react to something like ETH2 coming out. Is it going to cause how will they even do that? Isn't something that they've said. And imagine in the world where Ethereum decide that this isn't the same token anymore, and so there's an upgrade, there's going to be so much movement, gas price will be so insane that lots of exchanges will pause. And it happens. Remember, every market pauses every day, right? Overnight. And so the fact that the crypto world is open nearly all the time in itself is crazy. And we kind of sit here and go, I can't believe they've shut off for a couple of hours or a couple of days. But we should be comparing it to the markets that exist, the kind of like large markets that already exist. And, the FTSE shuts every weekend entirely. And we just deal with it. And it doesn't cause massive price dips every weekend. Right, and so just bear that in mind. From a tech perspective, it's not something we've discussed, but I wouldn't want to say we won't do it because, like I say, there's so many reasons to be able to have those controls.
Yeah, and I think keeping in mind the specific kind of vision of KTO as an exchange, partnering with specific coins and tokens and using that volume and everything to kind of build up the staking aspects, which is still going to be one of the focuses. It's less relevant in a way because we'll have that extra control over what's on the platform and the partnerships that we've made and the tokens that are going to be there. And so I think obviously we'll be building it in a way that protects the user for these trades and on staking and everything anyway, but then just keeping in mind that it is a specific use case for this platform that we're going towards.
Yeah, it's definitely something that down the line, further into development, we obviously will talk about these things and stress test things and talk about anti-manipulation measures. But I think what's important is we'll be earnest with you guys and honest. If we're implementing something like this or have to, we'll explain why. And we'll talk you through it. It's exactly like following our certain contract audit of the token. We then went through it with you guys and explained, what
means, yeah.
what the restrictions were and made sure everything was clear. And that's something that we'll be doing, you know, as we move forward with development. And if we make a decision based on you know, safeguarding the project and safeguarding the exchange and keeping it from being manipulated, then that's something we'll explain to you guys and let you know why we're making these decisions. And obviously it's community oriented exchange as well, so you guys will have a bit of input into the decisions we make also, obviously. So yeah.
All right, thank you. There's a lot of great information, especially since everyone right now is kind of freaking out about the very recent dips the past few weeks. But hey, I mean, you guys are definitely riding the waves very well. Sorry.
Yeah, remember also, this is one thing just for everyone. This isn't a crypto dip exclusively. The whole world is dipped, right? And so unlike this is, I don't think we're in a crypto winter like we've experienced years ago, because right now what we're seeing is the crypto markets are moving with the other markets.
Yeah.
And that's it. And, you know, yeah, they've dipped, but so has the NASDAQ. And it is what it is. You know, this happens. The world is in a really weird place, right? Just politically, health-wise, everything. So this has to happen, and it is what it is. You know, riding the wave is exactly what we have to do.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting times. You know, we're seeing the repercussions on the back of things like COVID, where, you know, there was everyone was put on furlough and money sort of came out of nowhere, and we're sort of experiencing some of the repercussions of that. And then obviously we've got global situations also having an impact on the overall markets. So yeah, I think that it's a detriment really to the fact that I think that Kounotori is holding up so well compared to almost any other token that launched within our sort of time range. If you look, you know, we're holding up well, we're doing well, and we're going to keep pushing forward and keep you guys updated with development. So
as they say, wag me or we all gonna make it.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of questions here for Tech Alchemy, and if you have any other information you guys want to provide, sorry, go for it. Let me go ahead and pop in to my channel here. There we go. Any design plans to include advertising space to sell to listed projects? And also, follow-up question would be ETA on alpha and beta testing for the exchange.
Yeah, so I think from the design perspective, I don't know that that's in there yet. I don't know if, Martin, we've even talked about it, but it could be, you know, down the line a good idea actually. Or, you know, we have kind of a semblance of you know, popular or high volume or whatever, and so we could have a featured or whatever. I think right now we're focusing on, you know, the main functionality and the user flows to make sure that the design is sound to then inform the development, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility. And then on the alpha or beta testing, as I said, kind of at the beginning, we're working through the kind of updated timeline and roadmap now with the team that we have on it, and then so yeah, Martin and the guys should have a much better idea on that, you know, early next week once we've had a chance to go through and scope it out.
Yeah, couldn't put that better myself. As Jake's saying, you know, they're working on the base structure and the skeleton of it currently, making sure things, you know, the foundations are there. You know, we played around with designs. We've shown some of those designs off to you guys actually in the past. But yeah, absolutely. You know, that's definitely something we'll consider. And obviously it will help the exchange, you know, sustain itself here as well. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you guys. I'll leave it. Well, I won't leave it here for you, but Tech Alchemy, if there's any information you want to provide, right? The other questions we have here are more directed at the devs, but since you guys were only here for a short amount of time, I wanted to give you project questions first to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are there any other ones?
I can go ahead and add this one in case you guys can chime in on this one as well. But the question is, are there any plans, or would it be possible to implement any other project NFTs into the staking perks on the exchange?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we've actually spoken about that as well. You know, for kind of later on in the roadmap, because obviously there already are NFTs and holders of those NFTs in the KTO community. So we definitely want to have that be part of the platform at some point. I think, you know, in terms of priority, it obviously is below building the exchange and building normal staking functionality, but it's certainly something that we've discussed, and is something that will be on the roadmap for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We're keen to look at releasing future ones, but the primary ones that obviously that we've shared the details, and the details have been specified in the white paper. The benefits of the collection that we have currently. Those are going to be the main ones that we implement into the exchange, and then future ones, you know, we'll keep you guys informed. But yeah, definitely. I mean, we think they look really cool. We love the fellow who put them together. He does an awesome job, and the animated ones, I think they've all been sent out now. You know, I think they're awesome. And yeah, we'd absolutely love to send some more out.
Also, I was going to ask this next question, but I thought I heard Jake take off his blazer again. Jake, can you confirm?
No blazer today. I'm dressed down today.
Jake has a Guinness hoodie on right now.
There's the
All right, no worries.
I've got the cameras. Jake in his suit.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. Once I knew I was on Twitter Spaces, there's no way I was wearing a suit.
All right. Well, here I got you guys with another question here. Let me go and tab back in. Oh, there we go. Will we be able to stake any other cryptos besides KTO, and will we see the same rewards and use our NFT perks for those other cryptos?
Yeah, so I think the intention, or at least right now, we're sort of scoping out all that functionality right now. But I think we've discussed it with the guys, and I think we would like to. The rewards would obviously be different, and you know we'll be working on those algorithms and making sure that all makes sense. But I think that would be the intention for sure. There's a lot sort of from a design and development point of view right now that doesn't necessarily need to be decided right away. And so, you know, when we then work on the staking functionality, it will be, you know, this discrete piece of work that will probably sort of scope out all by itself, and then so we'll get more much more granular and into how that works and the functionality and what the limitations might be and that sort of stuff when we get to that point. But it's definitely something that we've discussed and sort of been thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why that broke me right there, because Jake went on explained himself really well, and then Martin in the end. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
I love having Jake here. Someone else is talking.
Yeah, right, exactly. I spend all day talking. It's what I do best.
No, I'm sorry, Martin. I didn't mean to call you out on that. If anything, you could be just nodding your head the whole time.
I am. I'll spoil it for you.
All right. Since KTO Exchange is planned out, are there any future plans for it to be an IPO?
For it to be an IPO? Blimey. That's not one for us, I guess.
Yeah, no, the previous question was for you guys, but I don't want to take too much of your time. If you guys do want to add more info, then I'll mute myself for now. I'm gonna get a little bit ready right now to go to work, unfortunately. But I'll still be here listening in.
Cool. I mean, from our side, I guess the main thing to say is we're gearing up to start, right? So, in terms of our involvement in the project, this is really like a second part of the beginning, right? Like we've obviously worked on the designs, and I think you guys have all seen that. Where we're now is we're going to start actually building this. So, expect the updates to be kind of different from now, where they're about features that we're actually building. You'll find out, or whoever's interested will find out more about the actual development process, which I think will be interesting for anyone who is interested in that kind of stuff. And we're going to be as transparent as we always are with how things are going. So listen out for that. I also wanted to just say, we notice quite a few of you guys, kind of talking about us, and it's the talk of the office is often what you guys are saying about us. So we really appreciate the love we get from the stockholders, and so yeah, we wanted to say thanks to the whole community for sort of the support for Tech Alchemy, as well as obviously KTO. There are a few people we've got. So I had our community manager or our social media manager go through. So there are a few people. We have Grandpa Stork, Nappers, and Sex Machine. If you guys can DM me or DM us addresses and stuff, we'd love to send you guys some merch, because we see you talking all the time and we really love it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
We'll tweet out that later in case anyone isn't here or didn't hear.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
Really appreciate
You think I just
Thank
said
you.
hello?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. I mean, we see you guys saying stuff about us all the time, so really like it. And yeah, we'll send some cool stuff out.
You are a good company.
Oh, thanks very much.
Fantastic.
Perfect. Awesome, guys. As we've said, we do have to go soon. I have a birthday to go to, which I'm more than 14 minutes late to, so I obviously should have said I'm not going to be on time, but it is what it is. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. And yeah, we'll catch up on the next one. And, internally we'll be talking about this next week. So I'm sure someone will be keeping everyone up to date on that.
That's awesome, guys. Really, really, really appreciate you taking the time to come and speak to us and the stockholders. And hopefully everyone's found it, really, really exciting, the information that we've shared. And as Soham and Jake are saying, we can't wait to share more. The update should come in, thick and fast when we're getting through developments. And yeah, we're looking forward to getting started. It's been a frustrating run up the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, but and that's the problem. When it's out of our control, it is frustrating. But we're there now, and we're looking forward. I know Tech Alchemy are also looking forward to getting started. So yeah, really appreciate you guys for taking the time and coming on.
Not a problem at all.
Before you guys go, Jake, so I do have one thing to say. So since we now know that you do see their messages and you talk about it in the office, at least now we know we can sort of tag you guys in some memes, talk of the town makers,
for sure.
You guys conversate in the office. But thank you guys. Go ahead and go have a great birthday, great party, and make sure you guys stay healthy.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Speak soon, everyone.
Thanks
a lot.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. So they are. They're sending out some merch. I didn't know anything about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, dus yeah, I'm stumped.
Yeah, no, we've been working really close, and as I said, in the run up to where we are with development, I was really pleased that by the sort of feedback I got from them, and they were really understanding, and they're just as happy to crack on and see this succeed and thrive as we are and the community are. You know, they want to see this work, and they're also, you know, invested in seeing it work. So they were really accommodating, really good to deal with, and could speak anytime and discuss options and various things we could do. So yeah, they're fantastic, and you know, the fact that they're able to do something like that and give back to the community, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I noticed that Nappers is here. I wonder if we're going to get some hard-hitting questions that it's going to make us nervous.
Hey, Nappers.
Sorry, guys. I was late.
No worries. Do you have any questions that'll make Martin sweat and sort of give off the British steam off his head?
Well, I don't know if so I asked one question I was really intrigued around what their opinion was around the latest headline about FTX's CEO coming around saying there's multiple exchanges out there that are insolvent and bankrupt. So I guess I was looking for the opinion.
Yeah,
and what do you guys think about that?
Well, Soham did speak a little about that, yeah. Sorry, Johan.
All right, I just wanted to say that, as Soham was saying as well, just the fact that this is possible for exchanges, which are just technically companies, to be secretly insolvent, that's a massive issue, which is mainly presenting itself due to the lack of sufficient regulations at present. And surely that regulations are going to come in, and all of these companies and businesses that are insolvent are going to be exposed, and they're going to eventually probably perish. If you look at where many of these companies, well, many crypto companies in general are based, many of them are based in some obscure country, without naming names, which could be done with the intention of avoiding taxes, or maybe hiding the fact that they are secretly insolvent. And that circles back to us basing our company in the UK, because we're not trying to hide anything, and we're trying to be as legit as possible.
Yeah, I was. Can you guys hear me, or is it all fucked up?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
it's a bit muffly. Nappers.
Buddy.
Nappers, I can't hear you.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
I guess my question was actually more intended around what they think about how these companies are reaching that point. Not why they're already there, if that makes sense, but more of how did they get there? Meaning, you know, lending out reserves and to generate interest, things like that. That's really the opinion I'm asking of the devs.
Well, I guess the obvious one is sort of aggressive lending, and lending funds that they don't have. And then there's also the possibility that they're literally making crypto out of thin air. So essentially they're selling amounts of crypto that they don't actually possess. So if everyone that had a certain token on their exchange was to try and withdraw it to an external wallet, they wouldn't have enough. All of these are issues, and there's also different ways they could be sort of secretly going insolvent, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is greed and trying to make more money than they can. And by doing so, they're risking everything, and I really don't think that's worth it.
Yeah, I actually agree, and that's where I'd be. I don't know what phase you guys are in when it comes to writing out responsibilities of the DAO that is on the roadmap, but lending procedures, or even or what your stance around lending, either capital or crypto to, what your opinion of it is and your stance on it as a dev team, or even the potential of putting something in the contract or a contract around only lending procedures can be approved by the DAO, or kind of like a multi-sig type approach to lending protocol of for the exchange.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Mathers. And it's it's something we have talked about with Tech Alchemy before, and that sort of falls under the period that we've allocated under response and stress testing and looking for manipulation and getting these sort of things thought out and resolved in advance. It's something they're familiar with because obviously their teams and their associated teams have worked with exchanges in the past. I think they've mentioned before on AMAs. It's something that they're familiar with, so they understand that side of it. I think what'd be good is because I can answer it and Johan can answer it, but if I asked them and then posted feedback in Q&A what they think about having these contracts in place and what their suggestion is, I think that'd be helpful, because obviously, as I say, these are things that we have planned out in the proposals that they've given and what we've allocated time for. But it's a very, very good point, Nappers.
That's it. Thanks for answering.
Okay, bud.
Oh wait, someone talking? I think I'm lagging.
No, not me.
Oh, okay. I thought I got cut off or something. It's always a good sign when Nappers is satisfied with the answers. When Nappers is happy, KTO goes up 10x.
Just advice and lessons learned from recent bear market. Just don't be greedy fucking assholes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it comes down to, really, isn't it? As Johan was saying.
Nappers, this is a Christian channel, please. No cursing. There is one question we have here for you guys, for Martin, Johan, and I know Garyon's listening in, so he doesn't have to answer because I know he's dealing with some things right now, and hopefully he gets better. But it was more along the lines of I guess what's been going on the past few weeks, because I know there's been a little bit of silence here and there. If you guys have been busy, how everything has been going, and I guess why not the hiatus, I guess it's just the silence.
I can understand that, and honestly, it's equally frustrating for us in that we've been held up by things, setting up the company so that we're able to process funds and transfer money, and have all these things in place. We've got to consider things like tax and VAT. So we've been held up by all these things getting approved and KYC approval through HMRC. We've been held up by banking setup, and we've been held up by personal things going on in our lives as well. Obviously, Adrian's not too well at the minute. I know Johan's also been a bit ill as well, to put it mildly, the last week or so. Maybe 2 weeks ago, and then I myself, I was away last weekend, I think it was. I was away on a stag do, so I can only apologise that it's been a bit choppy, but as Soham and Jake were saying, when development kicks off, And that's why, you know, that's the real purpose of something like the notice board that we have in Discord. You know, the idea of that is that when development is kicking off, we'll be able to tell you what the development team and what ourselves are doing at, you know, at any given time in the week, and talk about what's being developed, what we're looking at developing, you know, within reason. But I can understand, you know, because things have been a bit scarce, just because we've been held up and haven't really, other than sort of organising, and there's been some fantastic people within the team who have been helping organise some sort of community orientated events, and they've been fantastic. But yeah, other than sort of getting everything aligned to really kick off and start development and get to the place where we need to be. And as I say, it's been frustrating because a lot of that's out of our control. We've been held up, and that combined with obviously, you know, our marketing funds tied into Ethereum, you know, that's also frustrating. If we had, you know, if we looked at hindsight and had unlimited foresight, you know, we'd have transferred to a stable coin. But then you have to consider, you know, if you do that, what if, you know, in the current situation we were experiencing, stablecoins were being attacked left, right, and center. As was talking about, USDC is something. Yeah, exactly. USDC is something that everyone's looking at the minute, just because of how it's been put together.
No.
Oh, sorry. No, way go.
No. It's because I always assume it's the end of a train of thought, and I interrupt by mistake, so I'm sorry. But I was just gonna say, I mean, it's definitely fine. It was more just to answer the questions for those who were wondering, like, oh, why no AMA? What I thought we were gonna have an AMA this Friday, kind of thing. Just to basically just get those worried to not be so worried anymore. But yeah, no, I have seen many times where Yoan or even Adrian too, they were feeling ill, they had to deal with real life stuff, so that halted you guys. But as long as you guys stay healthy, I know we worry about your health, because if all three of you go, we have to deal with Kat, and Kat being the CEO is not a good idea.
Oh dear. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, there we go. That's better. I know, and I think the most important thing is that that we're earnest and honest with you guys as to progression and how things are going. So, you know, we'll continue to do little updates. I can only apologise there wasn't an AMA last week. Unfortunately, I was in a place with zero internet, so it wasn't something that I was able to do. But yeah, you know, I think it's probably, could it even be the first week in God knows how long that we've missed one. But yeah, as I say, once development is kicking off, I'm really looking forward to that stage where we can give more regular updates and speak about exactly what's going
on. Well, thank you, Martin. I'll let you guys continue the meeting right here. I actually am 5 minutes before I have to clock in right now. I'm gonna go make some money to help support the wifey. So you guys have fun.
Appreciate your time, Jitters. Thank you for helping host this.
Thanks, Jitters.
Love you, bud.
No, thanks to you guys, actually, and thanks to Nappers for keeping you guys on your toes. No, I'm just no.
Yeah. I mean, unless anyone wants to jump on and ask any questions, I think we've pretty much gotten through the written ones. Ooh. Hello, can anyone hear me? Oh no,
yep,
sorry.
I can hear it.
Oh, sorry, I thought I disconnected. My phone's just started to come up with a loading symbol. Yeah, no, sorry. If anyone wants to jump on and ask any questions, then, you know, we'll do our best to answer. But if not, I think, you know, we're up to around an hour now, so I think we can probably look at wrapping up unless anyone wants to jump in.
I had a question.
Okay, bud.
You guys have any plans to do anything until the platform is released? Maybe a temporary staking platform or some other exciting things to attract other people in the meantime?
I think once we obviously see a bit more of an uptick in the markets, and obviously that will go hand in hand with our marketing wallet and how it's tied into Ethereum. I think that will be a time where we can obviously marry that with a catalyst, something like the beta and the alpha stages of development. We can show off what's being worked on. There's someone on the Tech Alchemy team actually who is set aside to work on design with other people within our team. They're sort of working closely together to show off design concepts. So that's obviously something we can share as well. Yeah, as soon as we're in a position where the market's seeing a bit of an uptick and we've got a bit more to show, then that's definitely when we'll sort of look at pushing the pedal down further on marketing. Because currently, I know it's something Adrian's spoken about in the past. You know, if we were to look at spending or allocating a lot more money into marketing right now, it would have very, very little impact just because of everyone's sort of hesitance surrounding crypto at the moment.
Yeah, I totally understand that. We need more to go to marketing, whatever, so you guys get money. That's my question. My question was mainly like if there was any kind of contest you guys are thinking about, anything to attract some to maybe get a little more volume to put towards the project.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're constantly looking and coming up with ideas, and we've got a couple of people, Artie and Pramit especially, and others within the team who sort of putting together community orientated events, contests, raffles, and various other things we're looking at doing at the minute. And then obviously Kat is, he organises various other community events as well. We obviously are doing, we can look at doing, no tax events. We can look at doing reflection events, given that, we've got contracts that hasn't been renounced, so we can implement these things and do these events. Yeah, regretfully, as I was saying about marketing, we've just got to be mindful of the budget, and I think allocating most of the money towards development and making sure that things kick off and we're building in a place where the market's down, when it comes back up, that we're in a good solid position. So
I have one more question.
Sure.
I'm in another project where it's kind of a new concept to me and to a lot of people, where they I don't know if they set aside so much of their tokens or whatever, but they created like a treasury wallet that's locked, and they put it towards farming, and everything they earn from them they use to buy back, and all the taxes that come off of that go back, to the dev and to the buyback and all that. You guys have you looked into anything like that?
It's an interesting concept. Obviously, we've partaken in buybacks in the past, and we had a sort of an amount set aside from marketing wallets where we would partake in buybacks.
Well,
I think
I'm in a project right now that has it's like literally almost zero volume, but there's constant buys from the buybacks because they created that treasury and farming to do that. I don't know if I could say the name of the token, but you guys can go check it out. I know it's not on the ETH side, but it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, that's certainly an interesting concept. I think the issue is that most of our sort of cash flow is going to be coming from the volume on our centralized exchange, and we don't really plan to have as complex of a DeFi ecosystem as on our centralized exchange. So it would be a bit, we wouldn't really be able to do the same thing. Also, we don't really have a massive amount of our supply that we hold, and we didn't want to hold a massive amount of the KTO supply because it would be a risk to the investors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think especially with not having the contract renounced at the start, I think the way we set things up was to sort of just reassure and have that safeguard that and then to appear on AMAs on camera and off camera and on a sort of weekly basis. We had everything set up so that we're there with the investor daily, giving updates and holding an enormous amount of the supply, under lock and key, genosis or not. That that it can have its issues. So it's
very scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been investors as well, so we understand that. Of course, that's a situation you don't really want to give an enormous amount of supply and then build the price up and then and have that accessible at any time. So that's something we opted out of just because, as you say, it's scary.
Yeah. Well, cool deal. I was just wondering if you guys had anything for the coming months too. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop talking, and I'm glad I stayed awake. I wanted to listen to everything.
Awesome, bud. Appreciate you coming in.
All
Thanks,
right, guys.
Does anyone else want to jump in? I'm pretty sure this is all being recorded. So if you come late and didn't hear Tech Alchemy talking at the beginning, or just want to refresh on what we've been speaking about, then you can go back and listen to it then. We're doing this every week as well. So if you have any questions that you want to ask us personally, like now, then or you just don't have that right now, then don't worry, you can ask us next week, or you can post in Q&A and we'll try and get back to you there in the Discord. I think what do you think? Yeah, and I think we're looking good. I think as long as everyone's happy, I think we're looking at wrapping up.
Yeah, if we don't have any more questions and we're pushing over an hour, I think it's fine to wrap it up here.
I think we're doing good. Well,
yeah,
hopefully
sure.
everyone's enjoyed. I mean, it was. I think the fact that that was genuine surprise. I didn't realize that they were going to give away merch, so that's awesome.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed, and hopefully you've gotten a decent chunk of information about the exchange from the coders. And as I say, we've got plenty of things coming. We've got the centralized exchange paper that we talked about, which is basically a sort of investor-friendly version of the proposal that is extremely lengthy. It's what's been put together by Tech Alchemy over the last sort of 10 weeks in that first initial stage of development. So we're working on that and putting together that will give as much detail as we can possibly give away about this exchange and what the structure and bones of it consist of. So we're going to put that together, and we'll keep you informed with that. But yes, things are kicking off. We're looking very good. The start of development is absolutely imminent now. We can only apologise again for the hold-ups we've experienced, but I think we've made the right decision to not delay any further and crack on, keep to schedule and get things rolling. All right, okay then, guys.
Oh, well, one thing.
Yep.
The competition is still on, guys, about killing me with Twitter. So please, you have 27 hours to go. So come on.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's it.